All right. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Monday to everybody, and thank you for joining all of us for the
Yep.
21st episode of the Tattoo Weekly, where we're beaming out live from all around the United States. If you guys are watching on YouTube, Facebook, or the Reinventing the Tattoo website, let us know that these streams are working in the chat, or tag a friend who loves tattoos and would like to join in with us. You guys can check out some of the Reinventing Weekly drawing groups and shows on the Reinventing Network too. I want to say quickly thanks again to our sponsors for helping us push out cool content to you guys. World Tattoo Events, giving us the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events in the world. Raw Pigments with their acrylic free pro, helping artists and clients protect their art. Also, of course, thank you to our affiliates Fireside Tattoo, the Apprenticeship Diaries, and Eco Friendly Tattoo Supply. But without any further ado, let's bring in our guest, or our host as well, Gabe Ripley of Tattoo Now and Jake Meeks of the Fireside Tattoo Network.
Good
What's up, guys?
morning.
How's it going today? It's been a
Great. How are you?
week. Seems like
Does it seem like longer?
it just seems like it just was a
Yeah.
It goes quick. Yeah, it definitely is trying to throw on the brakes. Well, I guess there was the reinventing the tattoo trimester that started. So that was pretty awesome. We did two orientation meetings, that went great. A lot of people beaming in, so it's very exciting. And then I went from kind of like monitoring and watching that, and then I have the Roku channel going on in the other room. So I think as of, well, I don't know, at some point we're going to have our stuff up on the Roku. I don't want to talk about it too much until it's actually happening,
That's
but
that's
it's
pretty
pretty fun to
exciting.
check out all this stuff.
That's pretty exciting to be on actual TV. Sorry, I had to move. I've got I realized my camera's sitting kind of wonky, and I had taken it off the stand, so I had to put it back. Just behind the scenes stuff.
Haha, it says reality tattoo TV.
Reality tattoo TV. Happy
reality is
Friday.
awesome. Yeah, Gabe, the that'll be really cool to see content in more places, of course, because the YouTube channel is a little over a year old, and it seems like a cool thing that wasn't there 2 years ago. So it's fun to see all the live events, and I've really been interested in that,
Yeah, well, and the
setting up
smart TV
reminders.
stuff is higher resolution also. So YouTube, I mean, again, we like to use all the platforms, but there's definitely a couple technologies that I was using a couple of years ago that I'm like, why the fuck am I paying money for this? And it all worked out in the end because, yeah. So the again, it's on TV, so it demands a higher resolution and whatnot. So, and
Yeah.
for us, and for all the people that have been creating shows, it really is amazing to flip through it and to see, the tattoo convention interviews and the live in the Castro replays, and it's just basically all of the shows 24/7, but really easily accessible at this point on the smart TVs and more and more smart TVs. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I'm,
is
I'm
cool.
trying to
It,
figure out
it
ways to sleep more, but that's not happening.
it makes being on TV a little less impressive these days than it was whenever I was a kid. If I'd ever seen myself on an actual TV screen when I was a kid, I would have went, "Oh my god, I'm probably a
Uh,
billionaire."
It's
I say that all the time, right? I'm like, because people are like, oh man, it's amazing, and it is kind of amazing, but it's also like, well, yeah, man. I mean, I spent a lot of time staying up late and connecting dots and people making content and spending money. Like it's not like it's. I mean, it's. But that said, it's not rocket science. But most people could, wouldn't put all that shit together. And again, thanks to Guy and the sponsors and to you guys for hosting shows. There's enough content there. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's not trivial. On the other hand, it's not trivial. It's so I'm with you, Jake. We put it and seeing it on the YouTube. It's like, hey, we're on the same fucking TV that we're on the YouTube TV on.
Yeah.
it's
But it,
my five thinks we are awesome. She thinks we're so cool. So if that matters to you at all,
it does
you are on
absolutely. That's all that
TV and you
matters.
guys are superstars.
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
Awesome.
she watches the show occasionally and
That's
thinks
awesome.
that.
My
So,
my
but yeah,
my
it
son,
is a big difference.
yeah, my son is almost 12 now, and he recently started his own. All of his friends now have YouTube channels, and so they like to compare the number of views that they're getting and all of that. And then they look at the Fireside Tattoo Network, and they're like, "How much does YouTube pay you?" And I say, "Not enough for the utility bill."
Yeah, right. Yeah, it goes through phases sometimes, but yeah, no, it's a labor of love for sure. But there's
Right.
ancillary benefits, and to the point, there are a lot of people that, well, a lot of people that are watching. Jake, do you want to introduce? I'm Gabe from Tattoo Now. Jake, you want to introduce yourself, and then we can roll
I'm
the intro. We're getting
Yeah,
carried
yeah,
away.
yeah. Well, right. We tend to just jump on and start rambling, don't we? I'm Jake of the Fireside Tattoo Network, and excited to be here. I've had a good time being part of the Tattoo Weekly. we have 7 people that just hopped on at and then 2 of them disappeared. That's how quickly we disappointed 2 people.
Ah,
Paul Lane says good morning, Fireside. But yeah, we got folks popping in and out of the Fireside channel, and excited to see you guys. Hope you guys are starting off the week strongly.
Oh, the
What about you,
coffee's
Lauren?
strong. I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
haha. Yeah, no, it took me a little. Well, yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, I'm all fired up for the Roku, but then also I've got a couple of awesome, tattoo clients to work with, and some events to help put together for the coming up year. And there's never a
Exciting.
dull moment. Woohoo!
That's right.
Where you're going to do a seminar in a couple of weeks?
I have actually. I
Oh, sorry. Wait, real quick. While
let's do the
sorry,
intro.
while I had the mic, real quick.
Mhm.
Oh, we didn't run the intro. Run the intro. Yeah,
Yeah, and Lauren didn't say who she was, but I guess we'll figure that out as we go.
Lauren, say who you are and then run the intro.
I'm Lauren.
Perfect. Who's producing this?
Right. Let's see. I still don't see an intro.
Derb's doing his health seminar. Did his health seminar. Got it recorded yesterday. That was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. He's doing it for reinventing.
He did it at a tattoo shop.
Oh. Do we want to skip the intro this
Well, I
week?
rolled the
One
intro,
went out.
but you guys can't see it, so we're gonna get past that intro. We'll roll it again probably next week.
Oh, you did roll it? It's not going on.
I was rolling it, doesn't work. Technology. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
I am Lauren. Thanks guys for watching. I skipped my introduction, but I'm with Work with Reinventing the Tattoo, and Rob. Get to go around and do cool stuff with cool people all the time. And in my off time, I do the Zoom type meetups, which is pretty cool. And a buddy of mine, Howie Tattoos. Are you guys familiar with Howie?
Oh yeah, Howie's a
Yeah.
good friend of mine.
He said that he's like, oh, just on YouTube, I saw you guys in your show, and I thought that was so cool that just a buddy of mine, it kind of somehow clicked.
Oh, how do we screen share in here?
Yeah.
Oh, share.
Just on the
And I
bottom.
click share.
Yep.
Screen
So,
So
one.
yeah, shout out to Howie. One day he's a
We should have him
Yeah.
on. I know he's out west, and I know he's not the earliest riser, so getting him on this show might be a little bit of a challenge. But yeah,
oh yeah,
try
true.
it. Yeah.
We could try it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Howie's-
look at that shit.
We've had Howie on a time or two, and then Howie and I actually, the last convention that I did before this Austin convention was Due South, and that was like as they were shutting the entire country down. It was March of 2020, and Howie was my booth mate at that show. We were both tattooing as
He
fast as
told
we
me
could.
that story. Now that
Yeah.
you're right, that's
Yeah, we
funny.
were both
Once
just
you
like,
have that bond.
Yeah, that was a really interesting show. Actually, I just did a podcast yesterday with Frank Linatra, and we were talking about the shutdown and all that. And he was like, "Oh, I was at that Biloxi show at Due South as they were shutting everything down." I was like, "Oh, I was there too. I guess I didn't see Frank there, but he had the same exact experience where it was like, where if I have to find a stopping point because security walks through and shuts this thing down, like where is it going to be?" So that was a unique experience. But yeah,
We were at the casino show. Was the last tattoo convention that I was at. That was just before the shutdown. And Mohegan Sun, I think. I don't know. It was wherever the Pepe's Pizza, the casino where the Pepe's Pizza is. Yeah, that was a fun show.
In what
It was
town?
at the casino, the New England Tattoo Expo.
Oh, okay.
Bob was there. Tony. It was a
I
fun
think
show.
we were supposed to go to Texas that next week or something like that for the Tattoo Collectors Expo. I think it's, but yeah, the show that you went must have been right at the beginning of March, huh?
Yeah, it was like the very first weekend of March, and that was Matt Stebley's show down in Biloxi.
Matt
Mississippi.
Stebley, he's a great.
Yeah, good guy, good tattooer. And while we have it, it looks like we got some of our highest Fireside numbers right now. So if you guys who are watching on Fireside, click that link in the description. I'm doing a 2-day live workshop in Asheville, North Carolina in like 3 weeks, and I need like 5 more people. So somebody jump in and make a trip to Asheville. It's going to be my Find Your Style seminar, but in a 2-day workshop where we'll actually sit down and draw and test all of my theories and see if I'm full of it or not. I don't know. Maybe I am.
What the hell is this? How come I can't find it here?
Plug ugly art.
Yeah, you never know. This would be the
How am I?
first time.
How am I screwing this up while we're doing this live here? I'm just gonna stop sharing here. Fuck it.
What are you trying to do? Find Stebley?
I was trying to find you. I was
Oh,
showing
trying to find me.
Stebley.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I've also got the link on my link tree, my Instagram. It's in a few different places, but it's funny because this is the first I've taught seminars at events where other people are teaching seminars. And so in that case, there are people already there. And so, you're pretty comfortable that a few of them will at least show up for your seminar. But whenever you're doing like one at a tattoo shop, at a place where you don't know anyone, the area of the country you don't know anyone, it's like, can I find 15 people that want to like sit and listen to me talk? So far we found like 7 people, but I need a few more to make it work.
Well, it's definitely worth it. People should be clicking on that. So what's your Instagram? What's the
Plug Ugly Art.
It is Plug Ugly Art. Okay.
Yeah, PLUG. But yeah, if you're already watching if you are watching on the Fireside YouTube, I dropped the link in there. It's the very first link in the description, and should be fun. I'm excited to actually get people to test out some of the find your style, like how to take influence from your favorite artists. Like I've got ideas on how to do that without just becoming a secondhand version or a rip off of that artist. And I'm interested to test it out with a group of people and see if it, works the way that I envision it.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
correct me if I'm wrong, but Asheville is like a really nice
Beautiful
place.
Yeah.
Like that, because you can
Yeah.
really, the environment plays a big role in the overall vibe of the seminar. And so I think that
Right.
you got a nice spot.
Yeah. It's I haven't been to this actual place. It's in a town called Hendersonville, but it's like it's like a
Hendersonville.
suburb, I think, of Asheville. It looks like it's 10 minutes outside of
Okay.
Asheville, but yeah, it's such a the place is called Continuum Gallery, and it looks enormous. It's like 10 or 12,000 square feet, and they've got
Oh yeah, okay.
do you remember the lady that runs it? Really, really nice. I'm blanking on her name right now. I'm so bad about that. Super nice though, and it looks like it's kind of a learning space, a tattoo shop, a gallery, art gallery.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Yeah, Continuum Gallery is the name of it. Nick Mitchell is going to teach there. I forget when. You can go to their page; it'll show all of their upcoming events. Also, Carrie Dunn, not a tattooer, but an awesome painter I took a workshop from probably 5 or 6 years ago, is teaching a workshop there. That is it. Yeah. And so if you click on their events, you can see the place looks really beautiful. I've never been to it, but I'm excited to see it. And I should pull up while you're doing that. I should pull up the lady's name that runs it because she's been really nice, and I feel like an ass for not remembering. We've been Instagram talking. Let's see here. Katie Montez, that's her name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right. Katie Montez Tattoos, really nice.
Cool.
Cool place. So.
Hey, there you are.
Hey, there I am. Yeah. But see, there's a handful of other ones on there. It looks like they're doing this fairly regularly.
All right, that's great.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Hey, there's Nick.
Yeah, Nick's doing one. Carrie Dunn. They're trying to get more and more of that stuff going, I think. And I don't know how far they are from Charlotte, but I know Charlotte is a big city, a big tattoo town. So I'm hoping we can pull a few folks from that area. Maybe I don't know if it's worth driving out for 2 days from Charlotte or not. I really don't know the distance.
Oh, you can make it worthwhile. I think that I drove 10 hours from my place to Red Tree, and it was about 30, 40 people, and it definitely depends on who you're with, and I think that any sort of drive would be fun to get that experience. It seems like a really cool setup that they have. Yeah.
I think so. I really just wanted there to be enough people to make it worth for us all to get the best out of it, to see what how people interpret the information, and I was hoping to inspire a little collaboration and stuff like that. So I'd like to have enough folks to justify that. But
cool.
Yeah, should be fun. What's new in the tattoo news world?
Tattoo news world. I know that I will be finding a lot of I guess international, but mostly national news when I go to Philadelphia this weekend, because there's going to be just tattooers from all over. I'm interested to hear, in my world, the real talk is about the European regulation. Still,
and there's nothing new since we last talked about that, I suppose.
There's different it's kind of
I actually had a news item my wife sent over about. We talked a little bit about some of the Korean artists, and I've been, they've been featured on some of the Tattoo Now videos. Might as well share this here. It's will the next presidential election mark the end of South Korea's end of tattoo taboos? Sorry, I got a little mixed up there, but here, let me click on this share and.
Yeah.
So you could find, if you do a search for this presidential election marks end of news, I just got this right off of the Yahoo News. Like I said, my wife got it off there, but so it's pretty interesting that they are one of the first places that still, kind of have really strict regulations for tattooing. So if you're not a doctor, there's a significant fines. Looks like up to like 42,000 in prison terms. Even though there's 50,000, tattooers that are there. But it's pretty amazing, because of the heaviness of the ban on tattooing, there's an attention to, quality, and they're basically not fucking around, right? Because by the time that you're, putting that much at stake, the work, or at least the work that I've been seeing that's coming out of there is, pretty awesome, pretty unique. And it was just interesting to see that might be coming around.
I'll check that out. We did years ago. We did a podcast episode with is it Yushi Tattoo that worked with? He may still work with Aaron Dellavedova, but he was South Korean and was kind of learned to tattoo from a Japanese tattooer, then made his way to Los Angeles, and then made his way from there to San Diego. It was really, his story was so interesting, coming up in South Korea, learning in Japan, kind of building his clientele in California, and he's awesome, really, really good. That episode, I have no idea what number it is, but I'm sure you could just Google, or you could YouTube search Yushi Tattoo, and my guess is that our interview will be one of the first ones to pull up. I don't think he does a lot of YouTube stuff. So,
I mean, it's without doubt one of my favorite things about tattooing is how it enables people from like every nook and cranny of every spot in the world, through every strata of the psychological profiles, that if you want to, you can engage in this art, and make a living off of it, like kind of on the out, without needing to interact with. I mean, you need to interact with a lot of people, but kind of on independent of normal economies, I guess. I don't know.
Share,
it's awesome.
Quan tattoos with you guys too while we're looking.
Quan.
Work with him
Also
over
South
in South Korea too.
Yeah. You were I was going to mention, and then I forgot, you were talking about the ink regulations. What's the guy's name that from the UK that was on as a guest on this show a month or so ago, that was doing a lot? He runs the tattoo podcast. Is it called That Tattoo Show?
His
or
name
Tattoo Show?
Works with him and Paul Talbot have that tattoo show.
Yeah. It's he reached out to me on Instagram and asked if I'd want to come on and be a guest on their show in the next couple of weeks. So I haven't. It's on my list today. Yeah, it's on my list today to jump on and listen to or watch a couple of their episodes and see what they're about.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
That was great work. That was awesome work.
Yeah.
Really
nice.
And honestly, like you just get surprised because you're like, Quan,
wait, fire that up and go into some of the details. I don't know if we saw any of the details of the tattoos.
Look that closely.
You're just a little bit slow.
I don't know if it's. I guess it's Riverside, but when we are streaming in Zoom and you screen share, it's the entire screen. But on Fireside, if I'm looking at the screen share, it's just one of the quadrants. Can we make it full screen, or is that a thing that can't happen in this software?
We could probably do that. I'm not exactly sure though.
That's cool. You don't have to mess with it now. Just if we're switching back to this platform, that might be something we put a check mark beside to make sure we know how to do it.
Look at that. Nice.
It's true.
Yeah, it's awesome. Got a little Bitcoin beside it.
Get back into one of.
Oh, it's in the tattoo. Gotcha. My first glance at that, it looks so real. You know how people used to put change next to the tattoo as the scale?
Oh yeah.
Scale. I thought that's what they had done. I was like, oh, they put a Bitcoin. That's like someone must have a little
Bitcoin.
a little Bitcoin. Oh man, speaking of that, I've been in the middle. I've done 3 interviews so far on this blockchain and NFT series.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
done one with Franklin Otra, one with Baxter, one with Jesse Smith, and
Nice.
Jesse had his tech guy on. And man, this is just some crazy stuff to see what people are doing with the technology. My next step is to talk to a few just actual technologists and not artists who are working,
Cool.
to do drops.
I was gonna
But it's
actually
really been a lot of fun.
while we're screen sharing, I was gonna bring up my friend Chase to show you.
Okay. All right.
Because he's
Yeah.
doing some
Those
cool, fun
tattoos are
stuff, and I
awesome.
know he.
One of my old partners from guy Sean down at Darkside Tattoo, they've got NFTs that they're selling like 10 of them, and they're worth 10% off your tattoo.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of the cool
only
thing
giving away
is-
10 of them.
Uh-huh.
So it's like one of those things where it is that unique, key chain. There's only 10 going out. When the client's done with their tattoos or they want to, they can sell it, resell their NFT for 10% off or however much they can sell it for. And I thought that was a pretty cool, unique case of a tattoo studio using something like this to, again, because it's like the keychain thing that's the unique. What's unique about it? Look at this stuff. What's this? This is nuts.
This is crazy.
Nash,
What the
he's a pretty
fuck?
awesome dude. He actually started doing this with his son because obviously they're Legos, but he's a badass tattooer at that. He works with Jay Jury, but he started getting into this, and he's really got
Oh, god damn.
an art in itself. But he's just.
What's
I
his
thought I
name?
saw a
different
tattoo up
approach.
there too. Is he also a tattooer?
Oh, he's a first and foremost a tattooer.
Okay. Damn.
Let me pull up some of his work then. I mean, he's just
Yeah, that's really cool.
Who's this? Yeah.
Jeez.
Chase. What's
Scroll
his
to
Chase
the
Nash.
top.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Chase Nash.
Chase Nash with 2 H's.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he's such a and
That's
it's
really
cool.
entertaining to watch what he's
It's
doing.
killing me that his Instagram isn't showing up on this
Two
It's
H's.
like-
Did you try
because
that?
it's like off the screen up top or something.
Oh, you're talking about on the on the
When I'm
screen
looking
share.
at it.
That's
Yep.
really cool.
Hey, Adrian Malcolm's in here. Hey, Adrian. Andre.
Hey.
Excuse me, Andre. Hey, Andre.
What's up, Andre? But yeah, this is
Oh,
some
Andre
cool
and
stuff.
Malcolm.
I actually am. I am maybe not certifiably a little dyslexic, but I got troubles.
Mhm.
I make up language all the time. Sorry.
It's okay.
Andre's amazing. His fucking. Did we share that last time? His full fucking bodysuit.
Oh, we should.
Stencil.
We should do it again. It's
We did a really fun episode with Andre a while back about the full back stencils and stuff like that. And he was
Yeah.
actually tattooing while we did the show. It was a lot of fun. That show was.
Are you firing that up, Lauren? Or
really well
can you
received.
Gabe?
yeah, I could fire it up. So yeah, so I'm gonna fire up Andre's full back stencil in the background here while we're chatting. It's worth sticking around for. We're supposed to keep
still,
building anticipation.
Right, we're
Yeah,
good at
I,
that. It's
I was
just
in,
fulfilling the anticipation's our challenge.
I was in Golden State and
Not
I
with this
saw
one.
this huge thing that Donna had brought. Donna from Inkjet Stencils. It was like, and she could, I think she had one. She showed me a picture maybe of a stencil of yours, Andre. Something like that. I forget how it worked, but it was just massive. I know
Yes.
Renee Little, when she was tattooing Ananda 2 weeks ago, that it was interesting to see how she pieced together.
But she didn't do a full. It wasn't a large format printer that printed the full stencil in one sheet. Did she clip it all together
She
or
put it
tape it all
together.
together? Yeah,
I might
yeah,
have
that's
a
the way
picture
we've
of it.
traditionally done it. And when I saw that photo of Andre holding the full stencil in front of the printer, I was like, well, holy shit, that's a game changer.
Sorry, I've got it here. I got it.
I still haven't done it though. I need to reach out to. Is it Inkjet that does that? Inkjet Stencils is.
She actually has it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I need to reach out to them. I had that on my to-do list and it got buried. Yeah, I would like
Oh,
to.
it
you,
was-
Instagram.
It was way bigger than I actually thought.
Yeah.
It's like, who would have that in their possession at
printer
their
itself?
studio?
Yeah,
Okay.
there you
So,
go.
let's see here.
Oh, you've got that.
There's
Oh,
the
yeah.
full stencil.
Yeah.
But here's a full. We got a video here of. We probably just got banned on Facebook, but that's okay. It's worth it.
Yeah, we probably were about to get taken down.
They don't give a shit on Roku.
One of our live streams was taken down because I was tattooed, and I was surprised. The show that we did with Andre, he was working on a full back, so there was a guy laying on his stomach, and his butt was exposed, and they didn't care about that. But I tattooed with a female butt exposed, and they took it down. So you never know.
I don't know. I mean, I know that Andre did put up a something to the effect of from here on out, he's going to have like video sign-offs, from his clients that are, to post up pictures and document stuff.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense from a
let's,
client standpoint. I don't know what difference it'll make from Instagram or YouTube, just,
Not
considering
watch
it
all half hour though. How
vulgar
about
and
that? That's
taking
cool. I
down.
can't believe it's crazy. It's got a half hour here. Okay, here we go.
But yeah, that full back stencil thing's super cool. I definitely need to look further into it. Do we lose Lauren?
Nope, I'm here. I just
Okay.
turned.
That's what I should have done. I
Oh,
have
we're
my
supposed to be doing that?
I have my video up on this little teleprompter so that I can look directly into my camera, but it mirrors everything. So my mouse goes the opposite way and all the words are backwards on that screen. And I know I can
Oh,
fix
you
that
can
somehow, but
you can change that.
yeah.
That was a
no,
hint, Jake. You're supposed to turn your camera off.
Oh yeah, no.
Sorry.
But that's
I was trying to be
this
funny.
is my point. I still can't figure out how to find the camera thing on this because everything's backwards. What does camera look like when it's backwards?
Oh yeah, that's funny. Oh, we can help.
Yeah, no, I do need to spin this
But
thing
yeah, if
around.
anybody is also watching that will be in Philadelphia, drop a comment and I'll come find you.
What's how big? I've never done that show in Philadelphia. It's a villain art show or no?
It's a big show. It's the biggest in the
Fucking
world.
massive.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I thought I've always heard.
I think I was there the year they broke the Guinness record. I think it was like
Oh, yeah?
2016.
Oh, the record for the largest show.
Yeah, in the world.
Oh, crazy.
And Jason will be there, so it'll be
How
kind
many
of fun.
larger than like London or Paris
Larger.
or,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Brazil? Like Brazil, the tattoo week
Oh,
is
it was
like.
the actual record.
Well, I'm glad I'm not
was.
competing for that
I
one.
know.
Oh, largest with booths or people
with booths.
attendance. Got it.
In that case, but I don't know. I just
Yeah,
look for the
like tattoo week down in Brazil, I think is like an absurd amount of people for like an absurd amount of days. I could be wrong. It's been a while. World Tattoo Events. We should do that though. No, we don't need to. That would be fun to have a tattoo competition with tattoo conventions. But maybe
what
not
is
so.
what is this here? Is this just kind of changing the opacity of a sketch? This isn't a stencil.
Yeah, what do we got here? Studio line work. I think this is all. Is that on?
I can't tell. It looks like it's kind of fading in and out on my camera, but it may be just what I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might be a full.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's what I was
This is a
hoping to see.
stencil.
Okay, so it's printed, and Andre, if he's still watching, maybe able to tell us this. Is that all on a single sheet, or is it 3 sheets that are taped together?
That's all on a single sheet.
That's all one sheet. Huh,
Yeah.
And you just had to cut it out.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. And he's got his own set of inks that he's been working on for a long time, the Grays.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of the Grays. I didn't know that was his creation.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Look at that. These are cool.
Yeah. Really nice.
He has 2 full fucking wave exercises, like full, like he loves to fucking draw, and people love to draw with him.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that shit. Yeah. Actually, I guess let me fire that up. I'm going to stop my screen sharing. I'm going to find those so that people that are tuning in can see what I'm talking about because they're awesome, and then we can move on to the next topic.
All right. Sounds
Andre.
good. I know you were talking about the Philadelphia show. I've got coming up soon. I think it may actually it's actually Easter weekend is this show that I really love down in Huntsville, Alabama called Space City. And
That's when
just
it
thought I
is.
think it's Easter weekend this year. Normally it's in February. I don't know what changed it up, but I'll also be teaching a seminar there, the same Find Your Style seminar, but it'll just be a 2-hour thing instead of a 2-day workshop. That'll be on that Sunday. But that show is it's all Andre's Inks, the Grays made me think of it. It's all tattooers for the most part that I don't really know. There are a handful of well-known tattooers that are there, but it's mostly, for whatever reason, it's mostly a Hispanic convention. I think a lot of guys come up from like El Paso kind of Texas area, and they'll like carpool up there. And these guys, their black and gray work is absolutely jaw-dropping. I mean, this whole like crew, 30 of them, everyone does the most beautiful buttery black and gray work. They work like 15 hours a day. They'll be there tattooing at 8 or 9 in the morning. They'll still be tattooing at 1 in the morning, doing full backs, full sleeves that are rendered to absolute perfection. If you get, it's not like a destination place, although Huntsville is a cool town, and it's a very small show. But for black and gray tattooing, I'm just every time I go through there, I'm like, man, this is the best black and gray show on the planet, I think. And it's completely unknown, and the artists doing it are unknown, but they're so good.
Oh, nice. Hey, let me fire up. Okay, I'll just run through this, and then I'll pass the.
I know the
Everything.
show one. I've met him a few times.
Shaquem.
Great dude. Cool dude.
Yeah, Shaquem. Yeah, he's a really great guy. High energy. He should have gone into professional wrestling. That's what I always tell him.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is drawing Japanese finger waves group exercise with Andre, Guy, and you, and it starts off with an interview with Andre, and then drawing. They go through the full exercise. I mean, in here, this was a live one, so they just kept going. This is like 3 hours, and it's awesome. So, this is one of those amazing things like for a Sunday afternoon, if you're looking to, get better at it. It's fucking great. Then if you are really ambitious and you really want to learn how to do it, you could find the other one that he did that was a follow-up that was also like 3 hours. So Andre Malcolm wave exercises, and if you get through the both of them and can't improve, then it's on you, not him. Or anybody. But they're awesome exercises, and Andre's awesome, so people should go and do all that stuff, and then go get a bodysuit from him.
Yeah. I'm responding to a few of the folks on Fireside that are asking questions.
You can respond to them over the video.
Oh yeah. Well, they weren't specific to what we were talking about, so I didn't want to change the subject. All right. Responded. Yeah. That's all. That's super cool. I definitely need to get in touch with the inkjet stencil folks and learn more of the technical. It was difficult when we were doing the show with Andre because he was tattooing, so he wasn't really able to like walk us over to the printer and show us all the numbers on it and do test prints and all of that. So I'd like to get someone that could actually walk us through the steps and everything and what you have to buy, and all that stuff. How to prep what they're printing from, out of Procreate or Photoshop or whatever. I assume you can print
at Golden State in person last year. Donna is the owner of Inkjet Stencils, so she actually she lives in California, and she drove down that huge printer and was in for people. It was pretty.
Yeah. I wonder, is the same printer, and Andre, if he's still on, he may be able to tell us if it's capable of printing on like canvas or printing, a lot of these larger format printers, they can print t-shirts, canvas, fine art prints. I wonder if it's like multi-purpose or if it's kind of just a stencil.
I'm pretty sure that when you start running the stencilings through it, it's probably best to keep doing that, without speaking for her or any of the other people, just as a computer geek in general. Like if you could fine tune that machine to get your stencils, and then all of a sudden you're like trying to get stickers or other shit through it, then all of a sudden you're trying to retune it again to make sure your stencils are right.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
Stevie
and
Money's in the chat room, says shout outs from Baltimore. Pretty cool.
Oh, what's up?
Doing a new website for him.
Oh,
And
seen him in so long.
yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
We're doing. I'm
What's up?
pretty psyched for the site. I'm doing some of the graphic design. Also, one of his either apprentices or tattooers is in the new reinventing class.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
but last week we had orientation, which is so cool
Mm.
because it's just a different vibe from it. And I know that, you know, guys, class almost 2 years, but really well, everybody was excited, and that it's hard to get excited about stuff sometimes when it's, you know, but the
Oh yeah. No, it was
know
definitely a
Jake-
little.
on too.
I jumped on and listened in for just a few minutes, and it looked like a solid group. I wonder. So the main difference in this and what's been happening on Sundays for the last year or so is that this is specifically follows the kind of curriculum from Reinventing the Tattoo, from Guy's original book, and I'm sure some things that have been added along the way. And then everyone, because
Tons of.
yeah, because everyone, you were saying when we were discussing it, you were like, everyone's kind of going through it at the same time. But those earlier Sunday groups, everyone was doing that at the same time too, right?
Well, yeah, but but this puts everybody in sync, right? So, you know, when it was the book or even when it was the online course, people that could sign up at any given time, you know, some people would like devour it all in one sitting. Some people would pick at it here and there, but everyone's kind of, you know, doing their own thing independently. And it's exceptionally effective like that, as you know. I mean, there's probably been, thousands and thousands of people that like can read through it on their own. What this is doing is it's kind of putting, well, for one, it's organizing all of that content specifically week by week. And, you know, part of, as the techie behind it, a part of me, like, you know, 2 months before the project, as it was getting a little hairy, I'm like, why don't we just like take every lesson that exists and then time it, right? And guys like, now we need to set it up so that it goes through a cycle. It goes, you know, so we're going through like a trimester cycle, because a lot of the topics you can continuously talk about, right? This is why it's great. It's awesome. It's kind of unique. But everyone basically goes through the trimesters, and so there's 3 times a year where people can sign up, and it gets everybody into sync. So the lessons get released on Tuesday, you know. So, and these are specific. Again, there's a lot of stuff that came from the canon, but then it's mixed in with the previous exercises based around that, other interviews, etc. Maybe other guest chapters, and edited. Also, I believe with quizzes, right? So, anyways, so the point is, we have every Tuesday, or the lessons get released. And then on the Mondays, the exercise that was based off of that week's lesson happens, along with some critiquing and whatnot. And having everybody experience that part together means that they're relating with each other together. And so yeah, so it's always been available. People could always buy it. But the difference is you can't buy this trimester now, right? So there's only 3 times a year now where people could kind of go through it or enroll in it. And so and again, just to wrap it up, a lot of the thing is, you know, the as you go through the trimesters, the second trimester, those exercises, they're based off of similar themes, which is, you know, how everyone stays together, but there's new lessons that are released that kind of embellish upon, you know, the first trimesters. And so by the 3rd trimester, like, all of the lessons are unlocked, and, you know, you're going full tilt towards it. So yeah, it's pretty sick. And, you know, it's a significant amount of people. Lastly, you know, we all kind of watch how when groups of artists come together to learn and inspire each other, how, you know, all the different relationships that form and whatnot, and business, you know, that happens, or networking and whatnot. And to have everybody for a week, for a year, like everyone signed up for a full year. So it's going to be a tremendous amount of influence. It was fun. I was like, oh my God, guys, you know, reinventing the tattoo again with I mean, everybody's helping, but you know, it's going to be a lot of artists that are getting really good.
Yeah. I think it opens up some really cool opportunities too, as the world continues to open up. These guys are and ladies are obviously going to get a lot better over a year of working with Guy. It'd be cool to do like some live art shows with the first kind of group that went through, with their early work to their finished work, you know, as at different shows, or, you know, galleries. There are probably plenty of, you know, opportunities to do that kind of stuff. You know, and, you know, Guy used to do you know, when he did like the scratch art book and all that kind of stuff, you'd send stuff in, and then he would do an actual traveling kind of show and stuff out of it. That kind of thing might be really cool to do with these folks as they continue to develop. and can post like their
Do like a
you know,
yearbook at the end.
yeah, exactly, like a yearbook. That'd be really cool. You can
Yeah,
have that.
it's
no
fun.
charge.
To your point, like, and just one of the things that really excites me about it is seeing everybody's progress from the last year and a half of doing the Monday exercise. It's like an art dojo. It's like an art exercise. You know, a lot of people know to exercise their body. God knows I had to get that the doctor to tell me all about it too much. But you know, then some people exercise their brain. You know, the artists, doing it once a week, as you know. You know, the more you practice on things and deliberately. And again, they're like exercises, so no one's trying to come up with finished pieces of artwork. They're like working on specific rendering tasks or flows, and having guys insight it's fucking crazy. I don't even understand. Yeah, it's so awesome to watch because guys got like even more insight. Watching them now interact with a larger group of online people. Again, there's just a level. There's more opportunity for people to like reveal different layers, and his answers still surprise me. I've listened to tons of his, seminars, and he's still helping people in ways that I don't want to say surprises me because at this point I shouldn't be surprised. But it's amazing to watch in action consistently over time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a real asset.
Well, he has his own intentions too. Like he wants to learn his experience together, and I think that when you go in with mentality, it's like it's very impactful. And you can feel it too, even in Ori. This cool vibe where everyone's like, "Let's do this together," Let's all better together, and that's a new element I think to the curriculum that I like.
One thing that he does, I think, so well is he's very honest and eager to get better himself. And I think a lot of people, when you've reached a level of success that Guy has within an industry, and you're kind of a legendary name, you would have a tendency to only showcase the stuff that was really, really awesome. And he's so fast to like put out his daily painting from the Strada Easel Challenge or whatever. And some days the painting looks awesome, and some days it's like, he didn't get very far with that one. And he's completely open and like happy to put that stuff out there and just show, kind of what's working for him and what's not. And I think that's one of the hard things, especially for folks who are as established as he is, to be willing to showcase some of his weaknesses.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's happening a little less than when we started the weekly exercises. But to your point, it was pretty amazing. Some of the exercises that he would put up, and then we'd be halfway in, and he'd be like, "Wow, well, it has been a very long time since I've done one of these." And but it's by the end of it, he's also whipping out some pretty awesome stuff because but this is some of Guy's work for people that are
it's funny. The first interview I ever did with him, I don't know, probably it's got to be 5 or more years ago now. First time we ever went out to hyperspace, and I asked him what kept him doing this style of work, how he stayed engaged in bioorganic and biomech, and he was really honest about it. It was just like, at this point, I'm just trying to like get away from what I think things look like and learn, what they really look like. I just want it to be more real. A lot of times when you've done something for so long, you start to use the same, tricks and ways that work, but it's not really what the thing would look like. What the gnarly knotted tree branch looks like when it's lit from behind in real life. It's just my stylized idea of it. And he was really kind of focused at that point on making things even more believable. And then you kind of see what I think is kind of that evolution where he's doing a lot of plein air, like painting from life. And even though they're just quick exercises, a lot of times, I'm sure that's still informing his tattoos and his paintings for his bioorganic stuff as to what stuff really looks like,
Yeah. I mean, and when people are like, I don't have enough time, it's like, well, I don't know who does. He sacrifices significant amounts of time for his art, to make it happen, and to make reinventing happen and his tattooing happen.
And he stays very curious. That's a really nice one. He stays really curious. He is always trying to, like we were saying, figure out how to make it better. I feel like whenever I fall. I have a lot of lulls in Fireside where I just like. I mean, like we haven't posted anything in a couple of months at all, just because I don't feel like I've had anything useful to contribute. Which I don't feel pressured about that really anymore, but I used to. And um, and I find that if I'll start to get curious again, just on my own, that a whole new like world of possibilities for shows will open up. I spent the last couple of days on this just an hour here or there on this easel behind me. I did this podcast with Nick Baxter, and his NFT collection is all of these hearts that he painted years ago, and they're really beautiful. And so I decided I was going to paint like a heart with a flower coming out of it. So I started that painting, and then I started an exercise where I didn't blend any color. I just picked up the straight color on the paintbrush, and if I laid down a cadmium red and it was too red, then I would grab like a lime green and drag it straight across, and then see how it muted it or how it affected it or how it made it darker or lighter. Yeah, these pieces. How it made it darker or lighter. And as I was doing it, I fell completely into that, where I'm like, I'm not mixing anything on the palette. I'm just going to mix everything with straight pigment on the board that I'm painting on. And it's been so much fun. And then I've had ideas for like 5 3 minutes to better tattooing shows off of it. And all it was just getting a little bit curious, and just taking a stab at something. You're like, oh yeah, that works. That doesn't work. But I could put a camera on this and talk about it. So, while you're showing that, I'll grab my painting to show you so far what it is.
Yeah. Okay, let me stop sharing here. Stop sharing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just, obviously it's not anywhere close to being done. Oh, let's see. Can I get that to show right? But it's just straight like pigment. Nothing was mixed. Everything's straight red, straight blue, straight orange, whatever it is, and just laid on top of the next one. And so it starts to come together in this really clunky, weird way. But after a little while, let's see if I can get it to, I don't know if you can see it or not, but after a little while, it just, the colors do start to blend and look like the actual colors, but without blending them at all on the, on the palette. So, kind of fun. The painting isn't good, but it might be at the end of it.
I think that kind of reminds me of something else that we've been working on. That's really cool, Jake. But I will
thanks.
Share here, and we can just one of the things that I thought was pretty cool.
All right. Let's see if I can drop myself out of here again.
I don't sound in it. I'm not sure. I'm kind of taking all the grays. This is a cool thing that I've really enjoyed. These are all the raw colors that are basically she's
yeah, I can't say that I understand exactly what was going from what, but it's a cool
a color code that color wheel, but colors are grouped together, kind of like a Copic marker type deal. So you can look at it, see, what you can exactly which thing you can use to push or pull for shadows or what elementary colors and stuff. But with the code, something before, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. I've met Faith is her name, right? I've met her a handful of times, and she's talked a little bit about the system and sent me a handful of like PDFs and things on it. It seems really cool. I should have her on sometime just to talk about it and explain it. Let me show you one more time. Okay.
Yeah. Just because it's interesting. So basically, the raw colors are adapting her system. So you've got this type of code here with the mix and the value. Each has a number. Go over to here and see the ones that we actually do have
Hmm.
where they lie, and then they're
Oh yeah. I don't think I've seen the what she sent me. What wasn't? It was, I guess, before she was doing anything with raw. It was just her kind of color method. I
I
don't think
think
it
that
was the resin
everybody looks at it
specific
differently.
techniques. Yeah.
It just came out as she was working and continue like seeing how things lined up. And the painting I showed you before kind of ended up being this is a digital version.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
it's
cool to be
cool.
to understand the colors that we have available. And
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. It's a little bit, I mean, it looks like it's maybe a little more in depth, but it kind of reminds me of a little bit of the Abbott color wheel, uh, back in the day where he just kind of plotted everything. But of course, those were just straight pigments. It wasn't, he wasn't doing any like blends, but he used, whatever pigments were available at that time. And I think he started with just like Eternal Infusion and maybe
Yeah.
yeah,
one,
that
one
is.
other, but
I
it
think we
was
also
really
she's
cool.
also
Yeah.
created like digital palettes for everything as well. That it's exactly like what the color is, and itself is pretty extensive. And I know I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. uh, yeah, yeah, it did seem like it was really extensive. I know Sean Bellina from S8 helped. That's how I was introduced to Sean in S8. Actually, is he helped Russ to actually identify and plot all of those colors on the color wheel. He handled
yeah.
the scientific part of that, and yeah, it's really cool. One thing that that they did for a while, I don't know if Faith has done anything like this. I think Russ did for a while. Was he had it was the color palettes for each ink manufacturer that you could drop into Procreate or Photoshop so that you could actually
Yeah.
use the colors you're going to use in the tattoo for your color study. I never did it. Obviously it doesn't take the skin tone into account, so it can only be so, accurate, I guess. But do you guys know Liz Venom? She did a tattoo
She's great.
once. Yeah, she did a tattoo once. And maybe she's done it, multiple times, but she did a tattoo once where she had her drawing and her finished tattoo, the color study and her finished tattoo, and they were identical. And she made some comment about loving the whatever it was, the fusion color palette on Procreate, how she like built it out, and it looked identical on the tattoo. And I thought, man, I need to reach out to her and see what that was, what that was about, how those things
Yeah.
work so
Actually,
closely together.
Faith did do something like that. So she all the colors first digitally, and then painted, and then from those three basically made a palette. But then also she went into the palette and created something for like creating digital flash based on like the whole raw palette, but then you can see like what colors are on either side of it as well. So that would definitely, some artists out there are really utilizing technology in really creative ways. But like when it's exactly a match, it's cool.
Yeah.
Full colors to find the closest without putting too much thought into it or comparing, if you're going to use a digital image.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's super cool. The last time that I talked to, I remember Russ saying years ago that he would like to have some type of an overlay that approximated different, skin tones. You would obviously have to simplify them down to just a handful. And Sean was talking about how that might work, and of course then he got way into like the 3D kind of like how light travels from a light source through pigments, the different sizes of like, I didn't realize this, but I guess skin cells are different sizes based on the amount of pigmentation. A lot of times, so the larger cells block more of the light that strikes the pigment that's in the dermis, and then how it gets back to your eye. So he was wanting to do this whole like video kind of where you're a photon of light and you're traveling from the source, and you go through this entire journey to the piece of pigment and then back to an eyeball. It was just like, whoa.
You should totally
Yeah.
do
Like
that.
half of your friends are like falling off or getting bounced back as you're going
Right.
through.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
You're
that
like
was a
dodging
good rabbit
stuff.
hole, Jake. I watched the science episode where you're talking about fooling your eyes almost. You know which episode I'm talking about, and I think that
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah, I think
the
so.
you could do compensate for different skin tones.
Yeah, he had a lot of crazy ideas using other types of technologies. I forget what these things, something along the lines of like microspheres. And all I could think of is they're like these tiny little beads that he felt like you could put in pigment that would actually amplify and refract the color more vibrantly, and he thought it may be a good solution to getting vibrant color in darker skin tones. He had a lot of really wild ideas. Yeah. Now he's down some other rabbit hole, so I don't get to talk to him about that stuff anymore.
The cool part about guys like that is like those really like when you mix the right with the right creative mind and then the right resource.
Mm-hmm. You never know. That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, looks like we filled up our hour.
Bam, that went fast.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
So
maybe next
are you guys
time,
doing anything this week?
I'm tattooing all week, and I'm meeting with Gabe. Gabe's going to help me organize our fireside content a little better. I've had this goal of having a clearer path for tattooers to find what they're looking for and to guide them through our chaotic library of content that's now nearly a decade old. And the more thousands of hours that pile up, the harder it is to organize it. And so Gabe is better suited for that. I had my strategic coach meeting last week, and we focus a lot on who, not how. Like, stop trying to figure out how to do stuff and start trying to find the who's that already know how to do it. So I'm going to try to plug Gabe in as one of my key who's and see if we can figure out a way to organize this content where it's more useful.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
you'd be right up there, Gabe. Like,
Right.
well, I'm ecstatic to say that I'm no longer all my time's booked up with some awesome projects, and yeah, as far as helping with the opportunity, Jake's obviously got years, almost over a decade-ish, coming up on a decade-ish of content.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to be able to massage some of it. And, part of working with awesome people that have lots of great shit already is that all I have to do is not fuck it up.
Right.
all right. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys again next week, and
Awesome.
we'll see what type of stories we pull out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, exciting.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So you'll be back for next week's show. You come back from Philadelphia on Sunday, or what's the plan?
On Monday.
On Monday. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll figure it out, guys.
Okay. Cool.
Perfect.
All right,
That's
well,
one of the
I
fun
will,
things about having that phone thing, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Awesome. Cool. We'll catch up very soon. Thanks everybody in the chat rooms and all this stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.